If you live in the country, if you're on a ranch, a farm, or have a homestead, there's a good chance you have a well and a system like this. I'm going to make a video today, show you how to increase or decrease the water pressure from your well. So this well has been watering our cattle on winter pasture, which is all downhill from the well. And we've been running a pressure of 50, 70 psi. So I'm going to increase the pressure today for summer pasture. Summer pasture is uphill, and there's about, I think it's 3.5, 4 miles of pipeline. Because the summer pasture is uphill, we have to increase the pressure to get water to the high tanks. So this is the pressure switch. This turns the pump on and off. Pressure gauge. This hose bib allows me to drain this tank. And here's just a on-off ball valve. So here's what you'll need to increase the pressure: an air compressor, air hose, air chuck, gauge, some kind of pliers or a wrench, and the garden hose. If you are decreasing the pressure at your well, you don't need the air compressor. So, very important. First thing, cut the power to the pump. We're going to turn this valve off. Isolate the water here. And then to read the pressure in the tank, you have to drain all the water out of the lines. We're going to use a hose bib. If you don't have a hose bib, you have to use an outside faucet. Turn the pump off and use your outside faucet, something like that. There goes the switch. And we are empty. Now, with the power off, we're going to take the cover off this pressure switch. This is a square D pressure switch. This large nut, or the large spring, turning this nut controls the pressure up or down, but it'll keep the differential. Since this is 50-70, if I want to crank the pressure up, I'll turn it right to the right, tight, and both pressures will go up. It'll from 50-70, I can make it 90-110. It's always going to keep that 20-pound differential. That's what we want. This small spring and nut, this can change the pressure differential. We don't want to do that. The standard is to keep it 20 pounds different. So here's where we fill air into the pressure tank. Just a Schrader valve. So let's check the pressure. $50 pounds. That's actually a little bit too much air pressure in the tank. You want the tank pressure to be 2-3 pounds less than the pressure switch. So our pressure switch, 50-70, we should have more like 47-48 pounds in the tank. It's been working, but that's ideally what you want. So now we'll turn our air compressor on, charge it up. With these square D pressure switches, one turn 360 of that nut will increase 10 pounds or decrease 10 pounds, whichever way you go. Right, more pressure, left, decrease pressure. So today I'm going from 50-70 to 90-110. That's 4 turns of the screw to the right. Make sure your pump's off. One, two, three. All right, that should be pretty close, so we can adjust it. Now we'll air up the tank. It's gonna take a while. It's a big tank, takes a long time to fill up. £60, going to 85, 87. That's it, we're there. It's about 87 pounds. I'm pretty sure there's some plumbers out there that are gonna think 90, 110 pounds is ridiculous. And that is a lot of pressure. You'd never run that in your house. But the situation we have here is we're filling stock tanks about 3.5 miles that way, uphill. We need that pressure. We won't get water to the high tanks. This is a really good heavy duty tank, pressure tank. Max working pressure, 150 PSI. Max relief pressure, 125. This is a Amtrol tank, well Xtrol. It also has a liner in it, which is really good for our corrosive iron, hydrogen sulfide rich water. And the bladder seems really good. This tank's been here 9 years. So if you were gonna decrease the pressure of your well, you wouldn't need the air compressor. You would just let out some air. Put this cap back on. Now we'll close this hose bib. We'll turn the pump on and see if we have to make any adjustments. See how close we are to 90, 110. Pump is running. Both valves are off. Now we'll drain the tank. See where the pressure switch turns the pump on at. Should be 90. Just under. Turn the pump off. Tighten that screw just a little bit. Pump back on. And we'll try it again. Nailed it. That looks good. Well, that's it. Got our pressure up. Gonna fill our summer tanks. Here we go. We're filling. All right, it's day 2, back at the well. The pump should have run all night. We're filling 2 tanks to the south. We'll drive up there and check them out in a minute. Looks like everything's working okay. The pump's about ready to shut off. Now we'll drive up south, check the 2 tanks we're filling. So the well pump was able to fill this big 30-foot tank last night. So when the cows drink the tank down, it fills up. When it's full, it shuts off. Now we'll drive up west and check the other tank. This stock tank's still filling. It'll take the rest of the day to fill up. Then we got 4 more to fill. Thanks for riding along. Like, subscribe, and leave us a comment. Tell us about your water system. Be that for your home, homestead, farm, ranch, or your garden.